Have you ever stared at your investment account and wondered if you are making any real progress? Maybe you have a few thousand saved, or perhaps you have been grinding away for years and finally reached $20,000 or $30,000. Either way, that $1 million milestone feels impossibly far away. But here is something that might change everything. Once you reach $100,000, you are already 1/3 of the way to becoming a millionaire. Not 1/10, 1/3. And the reason why will completely change how you think about wealth building. Most people imagine wealth building as a perfectly straight line. Save 10,000, you are 10,000 closer. Save 50,000, you are 50,000 closer. This thinking is exactly why so many people give up before the real magic happens. Money does not just sit there when invested properly. It earns returns, and then those returns earn returns. This is compound interest, what many consider the most powerful force in personal finance. Those who understand it build serious wealth. Those who do not spend their lives wondering why they cannot get ahead. The numbers. Imagine you invest $100 every single week, roughly $400 per month. Assuming an average annual return of 8%, which is conservative compared to historical stock market performance, here is what happens. It takes approximately 12 years of consistent contributions to reach your first $100,000. During those first 12 years, roughly $62,000 comes from your own contributions, while $38,000 represents pure investment growth. The heavy lifting is mostly yours at this stage. Here is where most people make a critical mistake. They look at those numbers and think the process is too slow. What they do not realize is that they have just completed the hardest part of the entire journey. They have built the foundation that supports everything that comes next. The next milestone is $200,000. And here is where things get remarkable. It only takes 6 more years to get there. 12 years to go from 0 to 100,000, but only 6 additional years to double that amount. At this point, of the 200,000 total, you have personally contributed about $94,000. The remaining $106,000 is pure compound growth, your money working quietly in the background. And here is the part that genuinely surprises people. Even though you have only reached $200,000, you are already halfway to $1 million. Not 1/5, not 1/4. Halfway. This is why $100,000 represents 1/3 of the journey. Compound interest is exponential, not linear. Each dollar of growth generates its own future growth, creating a snowball that accelerates continuously. By the 36-year mark, continuing those same weekly contributions, your account reaches $1 million. You will have personally contributed approximately $187,000 over more than 3 decades. Yet your account shows over $1 million. More than 80% of your wealth came from compound growth rather than your own contributions. At this point, your investments are generating roughly $80,000 per year in returns without any additional effort from you. Starting is the only obstacle. Finding $100 per week is more realistic than most people think. The average household spends over $600 per month on food. Reducing that by just 25% through meal planning and cooking at home frees up $150 monthly, more than the weekly investment target. The average car payment is now over $700 per month, for a vehicle that loses value immediately. Choosing a reliable used car instead could fund your entire investment account with money left over. Market crashes will happen. Your balance will drop during certain periods. But consistent investors actually benefit from downturns because their weekly contributions buy more shares at lower prices. When the market recovers, and historically it always has, those extra shares become extremely valuable. The people who panic and sell during downturns are buying high and selling low, which is the exact opposite of what builds wealth. Why 100,000 changes? Everything. Something psychological shifts when you see a six-figure balance in your investment account. Before that point, annual returns might generate a few $1,000s in a good year. After crossing that threshold, annual returns can easily exceed $10,000. In exceptional years, you might see gains of $20,000 or more. These are not theoretical numbers. They are real money that could cover major expenses or fund significant life changes. The person who successfully builds their first $100,000 has proven they can delay gratification, stay the course through volatility, and prioritize long-term goals. These habits become increasingly valuable as balances grow larger. You also gain options unavailable to people living paycheck to paycheck: the ability to take career risks, start a business, or seize investment opportunities that require capital. The math shown here assumes no employer matching, no tax refunds redirected to investments, no raises, and no additional contributions beyond $100 weekly. Reality is almost always better than these conservative projections. The hardest part is not understanding compound interest. It is developing the discipline to stay consistent in a culture built around instant gratification. But the math does not lie. $100,000 is not just another milestone. It is proof you are already 1/3 of the way to 1 million, and the remaining 2/3 will arrive faster than the first. Start today, because time and compound interest work in your favor only if you give them the chance.